The scream pierced the humid evening air like a gunshot, jolting John Kennedy from his quiet dinner at the upscale outdoor cafe. "Don't eat that." The voice belonged to a young boy, no more than 10, his tattered clothes clinging to his thin frame as he lunged forward, arms outstretched toward John's plate. Heads turned, murmurs rippled through the well-dressed patrons, but John froze, the forkful of meticulously prepared greens hovering midair. His sharp blue eyes, framed by wire-rimmed glasses, locked onto the boy's desperate gaze. Something in that look, raw, pleading, and brimming with urgency, stopped him cold. He set the fork down, his heart pounding, as the boy's next words sent a shiver down his spine. "It's poisoned." John Kennedy wasn't just any diner. A retired diplomat turned philanthropist, he'd spent decades navigating global crises, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. At 72, with silver hair and a demeanor that commanded respect, he was used to calculated risks, not sudden chaos on a sunlit sidewalk. The boy, whose name he'd soon learn was Jamal, stood trembling, his small hand clutching a burlap sack that seemed to hold his entire world. Behind him, a sleek black car idled, its tinted windows hiding whoever might be watching. The two men in tuxedos at John's table, his security detail, sprang to their feet, but John raised a hand to halt them, his instincts telling him this was no ordinary interruption. Jamal's story spilled out in a rush, his voice cracking with emotion. He'd been scavenging near the kitchen dumpsters when he overheard the chef muttering about a special order for the distinguished guest at table 5, John himself. The chef's nervous laughter and a hushed exchange with a shadowy figure had raised Jamal's suspicions. He'd seen the man slip something into the greens, something that dissolved too quickly to be seasoning. With no one else to turn to, Jamal had darted out, risking everything to warn a stranger he'd only seen on TV during charity galas. "I couldn't let you die," he said, tears streaking his dusty cheeks. "My mom died 'cause someone didn't warn her in time." The weight of Jamal's words hit John like a tidal wave. He remembered the news reports of a local woman found dead from tainted food last month, a case the police had dismissed as accidental. Could this be connected? John's mind raced as he signaled his security to discreetly secure the plate. The cafe manager, flustered and defensive, insisted it was a misunderstanding, but John's years of reading people told him otherwise. He thanked Jamal, his voice steady despite the storm inside, and invited the boy to sit. As they waited for the authorities, John learned more about Jamal's life, orphaned at 7, surviving on the streets, stealing scraps to eat, and dreaming of a day when he wouldn't have to run from danger. The boy's resilience stirred something deep in John, a mix of guilt for his own privilege and admiration for this child's courage. The police arrived, and the plate was sent for analysis. Hours later, the results confirmed Jamal's warning. Traces of a rare, odorless poison were detected, likely intended to look like a natural death. The chef was arrested, and the shadowy figure turned out to be a disgruntled former employee with a grudge against John's recent charity work, which had disrupted local corruption networks. The revelation left John shaken but grateful. He could have been another statistic, another unsolved case, if not for Jamal's bravery. The boy, however, seemed more concerned about his next meal than the hero's welcome he received from the media that night. In the days that followed, John couldn't shake Jamal's story. He visited the boy at the temporary shelter where he'd been placed, bringing warm clothes and a promise. "You saved my life," John said, kneeling to meet Jamal's eyes. "Now let me help you build one." He arranged for Jamal to live with a foster family, enrolled him in school, and funded a community kitchen to feed other homeless kids. The process wasn't easy. Jamal struggled with trust, lashing out at teachers and retreating into silence when overwhelmed. John became a mentor, patiently guiding him through nightmares and the fear of losing this new stability. There were setbacks. A fight at school, a night when Jamal ran back to the streets, only to return after realizing he had something worth fighting for. Months turned into a year, and Jamal's transformation was remarkable. He excelled in math, his quick mind a gift John nurtured with tutors and encouragement. The community kitchen grew, becoming a hub where kids like Jamal found not just food but hope. John, too, found a renewed purpose, his retirement now filled with meaning. One evening, as they stood together at the kitchen's grand reopening, Jamal turned to John, his voice steady. "I used to think I was nothing. But you showed me I could be someone." John smiled, his eyes misty. "You showed me the same, son." The story ends with a powerful message: courage can emerge from the unlikeliest places, and a single act of kindness can ripple outward, changing lives. As the camera pans out from the bustling kitchen, with Jamal laughing with friends and John overseeing the scene, viewers are left inspired to look for the heroes in their own communities and to act with compassion, knowing one moment can rewrite a lifetime.